would you welcome his opponent into the blue corner. He is the WKMA World Champion, representing England, Deakin. Two world champions in the ring, contesting a third world title. In the red corner, the ISKA world champion, representing Morocco, Mohammed Boulif. And in the blue corner, we have the WKMA world champion, representing England, Deakin. 12 quick rounds for the title belt.
This could be a really great matchup.
Chris Deakin, you know, no one works harder in the gym, some of these guys say, that train around him. And obviously a very, very well-prepared striker here coming in against Mohammed tonight. And we know what the camp of, obviously, Boulif is like, so it's going to be great.
But as I said, Deakin, you know, Sean Boom Boom Burton, Lincoln Fight Factory, great reputation right throughout Britain. Done well in Norway as well recently. They travel, and as you said, European experience, nothing new for Deakin either.
And Deakin just cracking on those right body kicks. Some good boxing-centric attack as well from both fighters.
Well, that was a great assault from Deakin, but you notice the right hand return from Boulif, which Deakin will have to watch for.
And Boulif did a great job swapping.
Yeah,
he's going to get a warning there, but he did a great job swapping to southpaw and then coming in with a right hand as he did, so I love that technique. Man, Boulif is sharp, razor sharp.
Went for the sweep there with the right hand over the top. And you know, Chris, after all our commentaries together, I'm a firm believer, don't just sweep. It can sometimes just anger your opponent. Sweep and use another tool. And he uses the right hand. And that caught Chris there. He hit that well, but he felt that one.
Boulif mixing it up very nicely. And, you know, you got to remember, this is full contact rules. Judges are going to be looking to score all of the tools that are in this rule set. So it's nice to see both fighters exploiting it so far, but being very disciplined in doing so.
Now, as I said, Deakin's a really good combination fighter, but you just feel there's real raw power with Boulif, with that right hand. There's the danger for Chris, for me, over 12 rounds, is already I feel that Boulif will carry real power in that right.
Yeah, Boulif's got a lot of tension in the way he loads up. And you look at him, he's not really even quite as built as Deakin, I guess. He's got a good solid core, but it's just perfect technique that gives you that power from the base. And Deakin looking to keep things mobile. Nice spinning attempt there.
He's a very fluid kickboxer indeed. And good defensively, but Boulif looks very sharp as well.
Yeah, very quick. I mean, Deakin's quick too, but Boulif maybe a slight speed edge so far.
And for me, I don't know about you, Chris, a very even opening round where they both had a very good look at each other.
Yeah, I mean, I would find that very difficult to score because both fighters were making some interesting looks, some interesting angles. Great defense on both accords. Great round.
So round 2 of 12 and a very good technical opening round, Chris.
A compelling scenario, really, as both fighters are trying to sort of find cracks in each other's armor, and neither fighter really breaking through so far, but it gives us a great build-up as the sort of temperature rises into round 2.
Yes, Deakin stalking. Bulef, though, as I said, he just gives me an air of a man that's very, very confident.
And Bulef, the younger fighter, but not showing any immaturity. I mean, he's clearly a world champ for a reason.
And both men just missed with their right hand. So, although we're talking about a technical fight, they're both willing to plant their feet early as well, Chris.
Big time, which is my point about round 1, you know. They're both really trying to find their way in with significant shots, fight-ending shots. It's just thrilling to see here, and a real treat to bring in a world title fight here.
Yes, and I said 2 quality men, both have world titles in their own right, so it's a genuine hardcore matchup. And that's what Deakin's good at, luring you on, and then he counters crisply.
It's interesting to see the kicking game being fairly even, but the boxing seems to be where possibly a difference may unfold for Belief so far. But Deakin's strong defense and good guard posture makes it a great matchup.
Deakin, the straight right hand from the orthodox stance, didn't set it up. Chris kick in reply, took on the arms though.
You know, we're sort of over halfway through this round so far. Deakin not really unloading with too much. He's looking for something, and that was it.
Beautiful kick there with the heel.
Deakin was trying to time Mohammed, but Mohammed just let fly with that 360 attack on a moment's notice.
And the great thing about that 360, it's the hardest bone in the body when you land. And then Deakin says, I can do that too.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Deakin's bubble now, Chris.
Yeah, Deakin's trying to find his way in and burst his way in, quite frankly. And I think it's going to be on the end of that right hand, that right cross. But Mohammed's staying very busy. It was an honest attack there, obviously, with that sweep attempt. He may get a slight warning here from a referee.
So, Chris, they both had their moments in round 2. How would you score it overall? Again, a very close round once more.
Very close. I feel like Deakin avoided quite a few significant strikes. That being said, Mohammed may have a slight edge in the volume of those strikes that were thrown. It's going to be maybe coming down to how the judges score the footwork and control of the ring, Malk, because the strikes were actually fairly even and close.
Picking up on that, even the 360 kick was immediately responded with. So, again, at the moment, superbly, delicately balanced.
Yeah, tit for tat. And it's been a really quality striking affair. It's Fenman Fight Night.
This is the great thing about this. It's close at the moment, but it's 12 rounds, and we're only into round 3. So this is the thing. There's plenty of time for ascendancy to develop, for that power to come in. There's so many variables, Chris.
And both these guys impressing me a ton so far. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of territory to cover in a 12-round fight. It takes a very different fight camp to train for such a championship bout as well. It's a long time to be in the ring, man.
But this exchange sums it up so far. Both men wanting to stay centre of the ring. Both men countering when the other comes forward. Fluid with hands and feet.
And swinging for the fences still, though, as Mohammed chucks that right hand just past the chin of Deakin. Lovely switch kick there as well from Mohammed. A nice sweep. Man, that guy, he's got so much momentum. He's able to create so much power without really any telegraphing.
Well, that sweep came as he realised that Chris had pulled the trigger on the right leg. So he took the support leg as he pulled the trigger.
It's interesting to see sort of like Deakin welcoming that attack and then trying to counter in his own right. Interesting use of his defense and guard. There we go. See what I mean?
To be fair, Chris is trying to keep centre ring. And that right hand is just beginning to have a bit of success. But Pete Richardson's going to question the sweep here. He doesn't like the way the sweep's being utilised, and he's saying it's actually coming up the calf.
But I do like the way Deakin sort of blocked Mohammed's right hand, then countered with his own right straight of his own. And Mohammed wasn't anticipating that and didn't move away in time. So, like I said, I think, like in round 1, Deakin's going to try and make use of a big right hand soon. See?
Nice combination work. Deakin pushing up the pace here. Bulef looking to respond, but short right hand from Bulef this time.
And I'll look
Deakin
for...
is staying in the pocket, Chris.
Yeah, look for Deakin to try and steal this round here in the last 30 seconds. There's been a little bit of a feeling out process that's been a continuum from rounds 1 to 3, but see what I mean? That's that right hand. And I feel like if Muhammad isn't careful, he's going to get clipped at some point.
Front push kick right through the channel to the face of Deakin. Goes for it again, Bulef. Bulef looks body and head. Deakin responds. Looks for the spin, but Bulef is out of range.
And Bulef possibly having his shin guard slip down a little bit, or was that some of the tape? I can't quite tell, Malk.
And there's the bell. And again, you're looking for a man to gain ascendancy, Chris, but it's so hard to make a case for either one of them.
I think it's just a testament to the excellence that these guys bring in as athletes. You know, they're clearly well prepared and obviously very well clued into the styles that they have. And sometimes you see that when two high-level guys get in, their skill sets can cancel each other out a little bit. So fascinating stuff. And again, two worthy guys come on here and duke it out for this outstanding title fight.
So round 4 of 12, and Chris, for me, this is on a knife edge. Perfectly balanced.
It was great to see both fighter corners calming their breathing down. You know, if anyone's going to pull it off here, if it goes the distance, it's going to be the guy who controls the cardio. And obviously slowing down your breathing in between rounds is a major element of that. So great to see that. And both guys just look fresh as ever, Malk.
Yeah, Deakin again looking to take the center, and Bulef willing to stay there with him in the pocket.
Nice exchange of right body kicks from both these guys.
Well, they're so focused, and rightly so, because huge talent here in this ring.
I feel like Bulef is looking to scramble after each sort of throws in his own turn, and Bulef's looking to land that third answer and sort of have like the last word, if you see what I mean, in the exchange. But Deakin is definitely looking to land something big. You know, he knows Bulef is dangerous. And I think I have every faith that he's going to try and put him away with something here.
Yeah, I like the way Deakin tries to keep centering it. And the follow-up kick from Bulef prevented the right-hand counter being so effective. And both men again, this is the exchanges that make it so difficult. They respond instantly.
Yeah,
you really need something to land clean to separate them.
That's it. And I think Deakin's going to look to maybe land a right hand when Bulef comes in and throws a single kick. Wow, that was a big right body shot. Good little bit of an attempt at trying to counter from Bulef. May get a slight warning. Okay, no, we're good. That was clean.
Yeah, Bulef is good with the sweeps when they land cleanly. But again, it's the upper body, and when they throw shots, you notice they throw at an angle as well, so they're already thinking in a really clever way about the response. You're slipping as you're throwing.
Yeah, and like the geometry is reversed as they respond to each other. So big right hand from Bulef and a flurry in return. This is the most significant exchange of this round so far, Malk.
And Deakin responds, and it's right at the end of the round again. And Chris, these two are making it so difficult to score this bout. They're like mirror images of each other in these opening 4 rounds.
And the deck of cards just constantly reshuffled as they engage and reset and sort of preempt and go after each other. It's just really interesting to see how that may materialize. And, you know, there's a reason why it's a 12-round fight, Malk. You need to look at change over time. And when you've got 12 rounds to do so, you have a better job of being able to measure that, especially if it goes all the way.
Well, let's look at that last 20 seconds. You just said Bulef really steps up the pace. He steps up the gear, and then Deakin turns and responsive to say, what you just saw, judges, forget that. Look, now I'm doing this. And this is what both men are doing so well.
This is what makes such a great fight.
So 5, we're not quite at the halfway point. As you said, Chris, cardio not even an issue at this stage of the fight.
No, none whatsoever. And it looks to me like Bulef's camp believes they need to really press the action here. I mean, once you get to the half point, you start to think about who might be ahead, who might try to ride out a decision. Belief trying to put an exclamation mark, but Deakin charging back in due course.
Deakin's doing well with that left to the body, the right hand to the head. And when he lands it, you think clean, nicely, but Bouleff then turns and throws his own right hand back. So it almost lands simultaneously, but...
And we'll get a note of clarification on the acceptability of that sweeping technique from a ref. But just, great composure from both these guys. Nobody freaked out about that.
That's right. I mean, it was Deakin's turn to be warned, and I think he's probably saying, well, I've had it done enough to me. I took a chance.
And it just shows you that these two athletes, they've seen it all in the ring, in and out of competition in the gym. Man, big left body kick from Bouleff.
Bouleff clipped the top of the head of Deakin as well, and that's what Chris has got to be wary of, that right hand, because Chris is doing a lot of the right things at the moment, and he throws nice combinations. But that right hand to Bouleff, I've just got a feeling about this.
And Bouleff complaining that his shin and instep has slipped down again. Gonna have a little bit of adjustment here from our corner, and we'll be back at it momentarily.
The way they go again, and neither man really able to pull ahead at key moments in either of the rounds so far.
It's like a merry-go-round. It just keeps going and going and going, and
well, both. There you go, kick for kick, 1-2, one back, one straight in, and then the right hand counter to the right leg.
Nice stuff from Bouleff there, left to the body.
Body from Bouleff as well, and then the left roundhouse.
Which is ironic because that's the same combination Deakin was using. Whoa! Going totally airborne is Muhammad Bouleff with that wheel kick attempt.
And Deakin caught in midair. This is the thing.
Such high-level guys going at it. I mean, you're seeing world-class striking here. And, sometimes in a bout, one guy has the upper hand, and it's pretty apparent early. In this case, it's like both of these guys are upping the ante constantly, and it's just a spectacle.
So we're at the halfway point, Chris. Both men look fresh. Their technique is so tidy and crisp still.
And it's interesting to see how this unfolds now, halfway through. Is anybody frustrated? What's going through their minds? Psychologically, it would seem that both are still very happy to trade and try to pursue even fight-ending shots. I mean, look at that stiff right hand coming in there from Bouleff.
What we need, Chris, is not for one of the take. I know it sounds awful, but what you need is for one of those techniques to land through cleanly, so someone's leg goes, or someone for a moment's head needs to clear,
or somebody gets a count.
Yeah, they've taken these shots so well between them.
Man,
nothing's happened.
And you can see the way that, obviously Deakin just scored a massive right round kick, but Bouleff cranked that right straight home again. It's just incredible to see. And it's like, if you were to watch this in the gym, it was like a sparring match, the old saying, iron sharpens iron. These are two guys who are going to obviously give each other a ton of looks, help each other improve their skills. And in this case, it's happening for a world title fight.
Now, for me, just at the moment, Deakin is getting through sharply with that right hand for the first time and avoiding the right hand counter of Bouleff, which could be vital when you're looking as a judge to say who's taking this. Deakin's shot choice at the moment and timing is just that. And I'm talking minimal amount.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to measure it on a ruler, it'd be a fraction. But as I said earlier, in like the first couple of rounds, I was looking for Deakin to make that right hand a factor by round 3 and 4. And by round 6, it's starting to show here. So there we go, see? Big right cross for Chris Deakin, snapping the head back of his opponent. And that may have been one of his best shots of this round, Mal.
And he's done it again as he countered the right hand and the right leg.
There's a mouse. I was going to say there's a mouse coming up underneath one of the eyes of Bouleff. Snappy right head kick, though, from Belief. He knows he's under pressure here. 10 seconds left in the round. He's got to do something to try to steal it back.
Yes, he did. He came back strongly there. But again, the left hand. And for me, for the first round, there's daylight. And that final left hand by Deakin at the end says to me, just by a fraction, he had the edge in that round. Do you agree, Chris?
And well, with the applause of the English fans behind them, I mean, it's clear that everyone here probably sees it that way. It's just great to see guys come in on here to the national anthem, fighting for a world title. I'm speechless.
For me, there was a key 30 seconds in that round where Chris Deakin landed those right hands that you were so impressed by before Bulef suddenly realised and came back. And as you said, there was a great right hand, a great right leg kick from him. But then after that came the left hook from Deakin. So I think there was just that moment. When we're looking at game changers, there was that moment there where Deakin for 10-15 seconds had the ascendancy and kept it.
Yeah, when there's not much between two fighters, you've got to have a very careful eye for detail, and obviously the details you just explained being a very slight difference. So cannot wait to see how Belief comes back on round 7.
Well, round 7.
120 more seconds for this world title bout. And Belief's looking to see what Chris is going to show him here.
Oh, spinning back fist attempt, and he realised, Deakin immediately realises and apologises, shakes his head.
Wow. We're getting a point deduction for that. That is very, very significant, especially when one considers that how close this bout may be. That is a grave error, but a great show of sportsmanship between these two guys.
But things like this can be key in a fight like this.
But despite the audience's appreciation for the fact that there was no ill will there, Deakin's got his work cut out for him in this round, Malk. Big right hand. Oh! Oh! Oh my goodness! Massive leg kick. Excuse me, head kick landed by Mohamed Belief.
Well, I was always wary of the right hand, Chris. I thought that right hand side, but as it comes from a different angle. And this is a huge round for Boulet now.
And you'll often see fighters, oh man, rocket coming in there in the form of that right hand again.
Oh, and the left lands clean as well. And Boulet clipped with the right. He is going for the jugular now.
He's going for the finish here, Malk. He smells blood. He's a shark in the water, surging, swimming, accelerating forward. I was going to say, oh!
Leg this time.
Unbelievable the way he raises that knee and then flicks the shin high.
Boulet has stepped up a gear here in a big way.
And he knows it's on. Deakin's there, though. I think he's got a little bit of time now under his belt to recover, but a lot of time left in this round. This is mega action so far, Malk. One of the best rounds of this fight.
Responded superbly, Chris.
And you know, you'll see fighters that are really, really, really stable and really strong in their core connect with one punch on one side and then flick the leg high on the other. It's very tough to defend and see that coming. And it's the one you don't see coming that gets you. What a sensational head kick. But now Deakin's surely recovered. You know, Muhammad was wise. He knew he was up big time on points from that significant strike, and, you know, probably wants to conserve a bit of energy because he knows that Deakin is going to be so tough to put away.
So, Chris, just to clarify, it was actually a warning. So that's still a 10-8 round to be left. But you asked how he would respond, and boy, did he answer it.
Big time. I mean, man, it's so loud in here. I can barely hear myself, let alone you, Malcolm. But great clarification from our referee in charge there. Obviously, next time that does happen, there will be a point. So it's a significant moment in the fight nonetheless.
So we're into round 8, and Boulet can suddenly see daylight between them. How will Deakin respond now?
And Chris Deakin got to keep mobile, got to keep moving away from the power. But the problem is Belief's got power in his right hand and his left leg, so that's been the proven element so far Deakin has to try and avoid. The question is circling.
Chris, it was the leg that caused all the trouble. Oh, that was a great shot from Deakin in response.
Big right
hand.
Yeah, great right hand from Chris Deakin. And he's got Bouleif in a corner where Bouleif will be a little bit more struggling to try and mount that offense. Both fighters looking to try and land first and try and land big. That's what made this such a thrilling bout, even when both seem so close.
Well, these are experienced men, and Chris Deakin will know exactly the ramifications of that last round, Chris, and I think you've seen that it's no coincidence that he came out storming like that and looking to bring it back round. He'll know this is tight, and he'll know rounds like that can't be afforded across 12.
And Deakin doing a great job once again of keeping Bouleif boxed in here. You'll notice he'll make little adjustments side to side laterally in doing so. But Bouleif is very, very, very wise to that element that he needs to keep mobile and keep moving and keep, more importantly, Deakin thinking.
What? Oh, and there's the kick after the sweep, and I think our referee said that was totally legal.
Absolutely, and Deakin kind of shrugged off and said, look.
What Bouleif can't afford to do is think, right, I've got the power, I can do it. Turn off the gas, because if he doesn't respond to everything Deakin does, he can be back to square one again.
Yeah, you cannot sleep on a guy like Chris Deakin. You know, he's an elite fighter. He's a European champ. He's a world champ.
Nice right hand from Deakin, though. He's forcing the pressure again.
And
Two unanswered shots. This is what I'm saying. Bouleif cannot switch off.
Yeah, and Deakin still looks very much alive here. Very much still in this fight. Such a treat to have so much time to work with here. And both these guys expunging the very best out of each other. What a round.
And for me, that pressure that Deakin asserted, Chris, the way for a lot of the time he kept Bouleif in his own corner, I think he's stolen that round.
Yeah, I mean, as sort of time ran by, you know, Bouleif had a couple of pretty good early assaults there, but Deakin remaining very consistent, dominating, most importantly, by cutting off the ring. You know, Bouleif spent probably the better part of 45 seconds, nearly a minute, boxed in there. So that was significant point time for Deakin.
So, round 9, and still delicately poised here, Chris.
Big time. And I feel like a lot's at stake in these last few rounds. Bouleif had a big round. Chris had a great round last round. So it's going to be interesting to see where each of these sort of next 3-4 rounds, if it does go that far, amounts to who will try and run away with this.
Well, we're back to tit for tat again. Bouleif has stepped up his game once more, and everything Deakin does, he responds to. Side kick, front kick reply, roundhouse, both men kicking fluidly.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's funny how like one fighter will strike and open up a little bit of space. The other fighter will see that and then try to counter precisely to that space. So, you know, for example, when one fighter comes forward and exposes the inside of their body, the other will try and counter with a kick to that point. So, moving forwards, backwards, laterally, diagonally. It's an interesting effect in the way that these guys try to counter each other in the striking game, chaining combinations together.
At this point, though, Bouleif subtly taking centre stage, and then Deakin suddenly closes the gap and pushes forward with a combination.
I like how Deakin is trying to sort of feint little movements and so on. He's got to keep Bouleif guessing.
Caught Bouleif with the right hand there on the end of that combination, the most telling punch of that combination.
Yeah.
Right leg, right hand from Deakin again.
And Deakin making good use again of putting Bouleif in the corner. Nice. And he spun the other way. That's brilliant because he expected Bouleif to try and escape that direction. If he can catch Bouleif running into that, maybe even with a wheel kick, he could end it.
Well, Deakin pushing up the pressure at the right time again. I feel he's just edging this round as well.
And Bouleif grimaces there. That shot a little low. Got to go to the neutral corner, though. And it's funny. He got caught with that low blow as he tried to snap upstairs with a lead head kick. And the speed at which that kick comes up, just like that, unbelievable.
And both men look to land with the big right hand. 10 seconds to go. And it's very close again. Oh, the right hand from Deakin lands through the channel. And for me, again, it's subtle little differences like that sway me just in favour of the blue corner in this round. He's come back very strongly, Deakin.
Chris Deakin doing a great job coming back from, Buleif's biggest round with a couple of very strong rounds, dictating the pace just that little bit more, and a brilliant performance in this world title bout.
So 10 of the 12, Chris. Is there still a sting in the tail to this one? We're in the last 3 rounds. This is where you dig deep and your decisions have to be so spot on, because this can change in an instant here, you feel. Yeah,
with the pressure on to truly perform and try to run away. Deakin looking real sharp. I like that leg kick. Excuse me, that front leg side kick I meant.
Deakin, nice movement.
Oh!
Tags Buleif with the left hand.
I like how he sort of weaves in, bobs underneath the guard of Muhammad, and comes upstairs with that left hook. Muhammad just shook it off, though, man. That guy is so tough.
Deakin is looking to land regularly now with that right hand, setting up with that jab either to the body or head. And Buleif, as you said, looking to counter with really strong rights. But if he misses, Deakin's picking up the points, and it's that close between them.
Deakin's got to keep showing movement, differences in the way that he comes in. Otherwise, Buleif will catch him and sleeping and maybe put him to sleep. We've seen it.
And again, the jab lands just on the forehead of Deakin. He's stalking Buleif.
And you can see that movement of Deakin that I was talking about. That's very critical to his attack.
Oh, but he took a right and a left there beautifully, and another one as he came in.
And Muhammad slaps that right hand in. I mean, even when he's got pressure.
It's almost like a hammer fist there, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say the way he threw that was just incredible. He obviously didn't really show much shoulder or elbow movement. Kept it real tight. He obviously respects the power of Deakin. Nice.
Deakin looking to force the issue again.
Yeah,
Buleif
great.
Was good on the counter, Chris.
Great movements from Deakin and keeping Buleif backed up. Nice switch kick from Buleif. And Chris Deakin got to keep moving that head, otherwise he's going to come into something real hard from Buleif.
What Deakin has done this round, though, is really trying to enforce the ring control. Chris, we have just 2 rounds left, and I've got 1 point in it. On my scorecard, I've got Deakin ahead by 1 point.
And you could hear the shouts from the camp of Muhammad Buleif. They know what's at stake here. I mean, it's just been an action-packed performance. And throwing more steam into the efforts, I believe, may be key for the game plan of Muhammad Buleif.
Well, Deakin has consistently thrown combinations as he's come forward. As I said, he's had the head movement, he's come off the centre line. He's been in trouble the once, and that was from the superb skill of Buleif, not his own deficiencies. Yeah,
but if you look at the way that Buleif tries to employ that skill, it's when he's most aggressive. So as I said, if he keeps sort of throwing fuel on the fire, trying to back off Deakin, and does not allow himself to get backed up, he may find himself away, try to get into obviously becoming ahead on scorecards, and more importantly, ending the fight.
As it is, Deakin has subtly taken that centre ring and determined to stay there.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Switching up beautifully in midair was Buleif. And that's what I'm talking about, that pressure that he brings to use his skill set and try to come and cause most effective damage. And the fans just screaming for the English hero here in Chris Deakin. But Muhammad Buleif is not phased whatsoever.
And again, neither man clean. Buleif looks to his corner there. I don't know what they're annoyed about something. I can't see what. It all looked very clean here to me. And Deakin is just beginning to turn the screws up here, but a good counter from Buleif there.
Yeah, Buleif doing real nice, moving his head away from the striking zone, keeping out of the pocket.
And again, I said it was almost a hammer fist in the last round, and now this time Pete Richardson says it's definitely a hammer fist. I think it's shown a little bit of frustration because I think the way that Deakin is beginning to turn up the heat beautifully.
And a wild wheel kick attempt from Belief. Deakin's doing nicely, moving in, attacking appropriately, and then backing out so Belief can't catch him with something like that.
Deakin is doing well to negate Bulef's skills now and counter every opportunity. And I feel again, for the ring control, for the cleverness of the countering, on my personal scorecard, I can see Deakin taking that round.
Deakin doing a really nice job of keeping mature, keeping him calm. You know, he's got a ton of fight experience, and that may be being the slight difference here between him and his opponent tonight. Cannot wait for this final round.
So 12th and final round, Chris, and it's been on a knife edge here.
Lightning action all night long here in this world title bout. But possibly, like I said earlier at the end of the last round, the disciplined approach of Chris Deakin slowly diverging off towards victory.
I think you're right, Chris. He has managed to push that. And this is the timing of his counters. All that early work from Bulef, but he wasn't scoring. And then suddenly Deakin comes in with the counter.
Look, it takes a lot to fight, you know, for this length. I mean, over 20 minutes in the ring at this point. And Deakin's got to be able to think about when the time is to come forward as hard as possible, you know. Not a lot of athletes can pull off something like this in combat sports, and it's just incredible to see the way that Chris Deakin is able to sort of keep calm and carry on.
Oh, you're right. His focus has been superb, and I feel that Bulef carries real power, but has allowed Chris Deakin to get inside his psyche almost. But that was a nice left hand, and Bulef loading up now.
Yeah, just a few mental slips really that Deakin's been able to take advantage of. See that, like, that's what I'm talking about. Deakin will throw a couple shots. He's got Bulef backed up, but doesn't choose to pursue him too far to the point of being punished for it.
That's right, and that's where the clever strategy, and to keep that over 12 rounds as he comes in again here. And again, Bulef went for the hammer fist, but Deakin's just picking up little points like this and moving.
With bread and butter combinations, you know,
Yes.
nothing too fancy. Jab cross, jab to the body, back away, jab cross, body kick. It's technical, it's laser sharp, but it's nothing too fancy.
No. And his focus, I think, will take him this bout in what's been an incredible matchup. Bulef comes back at him, but there Deakin lies to left and right, and again that body clock's telling him, big finish.
But here comes the boom. Look for Muhammad Bulef as his corner.
Well, for me, that's the 12th round to Deakin, and he's taken this title for me.
I was
very close, hard match.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bulef was looking to load something up. His corner was screaming at him, and you could see the intent in his eyes, but Deakin possibly just a bit too much. Bulef went after him all night long. A fitting, absolutely brilliant, breathtaking, stylistic matchup here in this world title fight, but there can only be one winner.
Chris, it was an honor